Hello, and welcome back to the TalkUp channel. I'm Brian.
And I'm Chloe. It's so wonderful to have you all with us again today. We are absolutely thrilled you decided to tune in.
That's right. Whether you're a longtime subscriber or this is your very first episode, we want to extend a massive welcome to you. Here at TalkUp, we're a community of learners, and we're all about making your English journey as effective, engaging, and enjoyable as possible.
And today, we're diving into a topic that is absolutely essential for taking your English from simply functional to truly fluent and natural. We're talking about emotions.
Exactly. Think about it. Conversations aren't just about exchanging information. They're about connecting with people. And the way we do that is by sharing how we feel. But expressing those feelings in a new language can be challenging. You might know the words for happy or sad, but how do you express excitement, frustration, or nervousness in a way that sounds natural to a native speaker?
That's our mission for today. We want to give you the tools and the confidence to express your emotions clearly and effectively. We'll be looking at some key vocabulary, exploring the subtle but important difference between saying I feel and I am, and my personal favorite, we'll be diving into some fantastic idioms that will make your English sound much more authentic.
We'll also touch on something very close to our hearts here at TalkUp, the emotional roller coaster of learning a language. We all know it. One day you're on top of the world, and the next you feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall. We'll talk about why those feelings are completely normal and how acknowledging them is key to your success.
So, grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's get ready to talk about feelings. Part 1. The basics. I am versus I feel.
All right, let's start with the fundamentals. The most direct way to express how you're feeling is by using the verb to be. So you use the structure I am plus an adjective. It's simple, direct, and always correct. For instance, I could say, I am happy today.
Or, I am tired. I didn't get much sleep last night, so that's a true one for me. You can use this for any feeling. I am excited. I am nervous. I am frustrated. I am content. It's the foundation of expressing emotions.
But there's another very common way to say it, using the verb to feel. So I could also say, I feel happy today. Chloe, you could say, I feel tired.
So what's the difference? It's a great question, and the distinction is subtle but useful. Often, I am can describe a more general state of being or a quality about your personality. For example, if I say I am an anxious person, I'm describing a part of my personality. It's a long-term trait. But if I say I feel anxious about the presentation, I'm talking about a specific temporary emotion I'm experiencing right now.
That's a perfect explanation. Think of I am as describing your state, and I feel as describing your current sensation. If I say I am tired, it's a statement of my physical or mental state. It's a fact. If I say I feel tired, it's more about my internal experience of that tiredness. It often sounds a little softer, a little more personal.
Let's look at another example. I am sad versus I feel sad. Both are grammatically perfect, but I feel sad focuses more on the emotion as something that is happening to you, something you are experiencing in the moment. It can sometimes feel more immediate.
Let's run through a few examples to really get the hang of it. Imagine you just received some fantastic news. You could say, I am so excited.
I feel incredibly excited.
Now, imagine you have a big exam tomorrow. You might say, I am really nervous.
I feel so nervous about this exam.
And what if you've been working on a difficult grammar point for hours and just can't understand it?
I am so frustrated.
I feel completely frustrated with this exercise.
So the key takeaway here is that both are correct, but I feel often emphasizes the temporary and internal nature of the emotion. Don't stress too much about choosing the perfect one. The most important thing is to start using them. Try it now, wherever you are. Say one sentence starting with I am and one with I feel to describe your current state.
Part 2. Adding color. Idioms for emotions. Okay, so now that we've got the basics down, let's move on to the really fun stuff. The things that make English so rich and, let's be honest, sometimes a little confusing. Idioms.
I love idioms. They are phrases where the meaning isn't obvious from the individual words, but native speakers use them all the time. Using them correctly is a sign that your English is reaching a very high level. And when it comes to emotions, we have a ton of them.
Let's start with happiness. Extreme happiness. Imagine you just got your dream job. You're not just happy, you are ecstatic. In English, you could say you are on cloud 9.
On cloud 9. I love that image. It's like you're floating because you're so happy. For example, when she found out she'd won the trip to Paris, she was on cloud 9 for a week.
Another great one for happiness is walking on air. It has a very similar meaning. He's been walking on air ever since he got engaged. It implies a feeling of weightlessness from pure joy.
And if you're just generally in a very good and positive mood, you can say you are in high spirits. The whole team was in high spirits after winning the final match.
Okay, but life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. We also need to express sadness. The most common idiom for this is probably feeling blue.
Yes, feeling blue just means feeling sad or a little bit down. It's very common. You could say, I've been feeling a bit blue this week because of the rainy weather. It's a gentle way of expressing sadness.
For a stronger feeling of unhappiness, you could say you're down in the dumps. This implies you're really sad and maybe a bit without hope. He's been down in the dumps ever since his business closed.
Another powerful one is when something suddenly makes you sad or disappointed. You can say, my heart sank. For example, when I saw the email with the rejection, my heart sank. It perfectly captures that sudden, heavy feeling in your chest.
Now, what about frustration or anger? Let's say someone is being very annoying. You might be losing your patience. A great idiom is at my wit's end.
I feel like parents of young children must use this one a lot. The baby has been crying all night, and I'm at my wit's end. It means you've exhausted all your patience, and you don't know what to do anymore.
And if you're really angry, you might see red. When he saw that someone had scratched his new car, he just saw red. It means to become uncontrollably angry, as if your vision is clouded by rage.
And let's not forget anxiety or nervousness. We talked about feeling nervous for an exam. The classic idiom here is to have butterflies in your stomach. It describes that fluttery, nervous feeling you get in your stomach. I always get butterflies in my stomach before speaking in public.
Or if you're very anxious and tense, you can say you are on edge. She's been on edge all day, waiting for the phone to ring with the news.
These are just a few examples, but you can see how they add so much more personality and detail to your language than just saying, I'm sad or I'm nervous.
Part 3. The emotional journey of a language learner. Now, Chloe, let's bring this home for our listeners. We want to talk about the importance of these feelings in the context of learning English, right here on the TalkUp channel and in their personal studies.
Absolutely. Learning a language is not a linear process. It's an emotional journey, a real roller coaster, and it's so important to acknowledge that. Let's start with the positive, that feeling of excitement. Do you remember the first time you had a real, successful conversation in a language you were learning?
Oh, I remember it vividly. I was in Spain and I managed to ask for directions, understand the answer, and get where I was going without switching to English. I wasn't just happy, I was euphoric. I felt like I was on top of the world. It was a huge confidence boost. That feeling of a breakthrough is incredibly powerful.
It really is. That's the excitement that fuels your motivation. It's the thrill of understanding a movie without subtitles for the first time, or getting a joke. We should celebrate those moments. They are the fuel that keeps us going.
But then there's the other side, frustration. I think every single person listening right now knows this feeling. When you've been studying a grammar rule for an hour and it just won't click. Or when you're in a conversation and you know the word you want to say, but it's stuck on the tip of your tongue.
Ugh, that is the worst feeling. It's like you're banging your head against a brick wall. You're putting in the effort, but you're not seeing the results. You feel stuck. And it can be incredibly demotivating. You might start to think, I'm not good at this, or I'll never be fluent.
And this is the most critical point we want to make today. That feeling of frustration is not a sign of failure. It is a normal, inevitable, and even necessary part of the learning process. It's a sign that you are pushing your boundaries. You're challenging yourself.
Exactly. And connected to frustration is fear. The fear of making a mistake. The fear that people will laugh at your accent. The fear of sounding silly. This fear can be paralyzing. It can make you feel so anxious that you avoid speaking altogether. You might have all the knowledge in your head, but the fear stops you from using it.
I know that feeling of having butterflies in your stomach before you have to speak. Your heart starts beating faster, your palms get sweaty. It's a real physical response.
And what we want to say to everyone in our TalkUp community is this: it's okay. It's okay to feel excited one day and completely frustrated the next. It's okay to feel scared before you speak. The secret is not to let those negative feelings win. The most important thing is to continue.
You have to acknowledge the feeling. Say to yourself, okay, I feel really frustrated right now. This is hard. Take a deep breath, take a break, but then come back to it. Remind yourself of how far you've come, and remember that everyone feels this way. The person you admire for their fluent English, they have felt that same frustration. They have felt that same fear.
That's what this channel is all about. It's a space where you can learn, but also a community where you know you're not alone on this journey. When you feel down in the dumps about your progress, come watch a video, read the comments, and remember that thousands of us are on this roller coaster with you. The important thing is to keep showing up. Part 4, how to ask about feelings with empathy.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on how to express our own feelings, but communication is a two-way street. It's just as important to be able to ask others about their feelings and to respond with empathy.
This is such a key skill for building deep and meaningful connections. Of course, everyone knows the question, how are you? But we also know the standard answer, I'm fine, thanks, and you? It doesn't always invite a real response.
Right. If you genuinely want to know how someone is, and you can see their body language suggests something is wrong, you can be more specific and gentle. For instance, if a friend seems sad, instead of just, how are you, you could try, you seem a little down today. Is everything okay? Or, is something bothering you? You seem quiet.
Those questions show you are paying attention. They create a safe space for the other person to open up if they want to. What if someone looks worried or stressed? You could say, you look like you have a lot on your mind. Want to talk about it? What's wrong? You seem a bit on edge.
And it works for positive emotions too. If you see a friend who looks incredibly happy, share in their joy. You could say, "Wow, you're in high spirits today. What's the good news?" Or, "You look like you're on cloud nine. What happened?"
This is a wonderful way to celebrate with people. Let's try a quick role play. Brian, I want you to pretend you're a student who just failed an important English test. You're feeling really down in the dumps. I'll be your friend who notices. Hey, Brian. I was just coming to say hi, but you seem really down. Is everything all right?
Oh, hey, Chloe. Yeah, I'm okay. Just,
Are you sure? You don't look okay. You look really upset about something. You know you can talk to me if you want to.
Well, I just got my test results back. I failed. I studied so hard and I still failed. I just feel so stupid and frustrated. I feel like giving up.
Oh, Brian, I'm so sorry. That's awful. It's completely understandable that you feel frustrated. Your feelings are totally valid. But you are not stupid at all. Learning English is hard, and this is just one test. It doesn't define you or your abilities. Don't be too hard on yourself.
See? Chloe's response was empathetic. She didn't just say, "Don't be sad." She acknowledged my feelings, like it's understandable that you feel frustrated, and offered support and perspective. That is how you have a truly meaningful conversation.
Well, that brings us almost to the end of our episode today. Let's do a very quick recap of what we've learned.
First, we talked about the basic ways to express emotions using I am and I feel, and the subtle difference between them.
Then we spiced things up with some brilliant idioms to help you sound more like a native speaker, like being on cloud nine when you're happy, feeling blue when you're sad, or having butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous.
Most importantly, we talked about the emotional journey of learning English. We want you to remember that feeling frustrated, scared, or anxious is a normal part of the process. The key is to acknowledge those feelings and to keep going. You are not alone.
And finally, we learned how to ask about other people's feelings with empathy, which is crucial for building real connections.
We really hope you found this discussion helpful. Our goal at TalkUp is not just to teach you grammar and vocabulary, but to give you the confidence to truly communicate and connect with people in English.
Thank you so much for joining us today, for your time and for your dedication to learning. You are all amazing, and we are so proud to be a small part of your journey.
Before we go, please don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the TalkUp channel so you don't miss our future episodes. And for today's practice, we have a challenge for you.
We do. In the comments below, we want you to tell us about an emotion you have felt this week. But here's the catch. You have to use one of the idioms we learned today. We absolutely love reading your comments, and we'll do our best to reply to as many as we can.
Thank you once again for your participation. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember that every step, no matter how small, is progress.
Until next time, take care and keep talking.
Bye, everyone.